Hi, John Lay here from Town to Learning with another hot take. Today's hot take is on Cadmium's EthosCE platform. So I just got off a 1 hour briefing with the executive team and learned all about their solution. I know about it anyway. I've been tracking this solution ever since 2015 or 2016. And at Town to Learning, we always talk about how there's generalist to specialist, or all-purpose to specialist providers. Ethos and Cadmium is a specialist provider. Ethos in particular, Cadmium's a broader company that provides really end-to-end continuing education management, including a lot on the event side that associations have, or event production and event management. The Ethos side is really more around the assets that are digital, or is around the assets that are digital. Ethos is directly and super focused on the healthcare marketplace in general. They work with healthcare associations. They work with medical schools of all different types. They work in general in hospital environments, and they also work on the for-profit side of the medical education providers. And everything that they do is really driven around the success, or enabling, facilitating the success of a continuing education business. And to run a continuing education business, you're worried about driving revenue, you're worried about the headaches and the management of accreditation, you're worried about that content management and creation and getting that at the appropriate level, and you're worried about learner engagement, because building a content business, especially a continuing education where you want learners to come back time and time again, learner engagement and making it easy to use and less clicks and an enjoyable experience is really important. And then all of these to support the goal of generating revenue, the ability to measure outcomes associated with that, not just learning outcomes, but yes, pre and post test or evaluations, but business outcomes of how to drive your business. What's the most popular content? Where are learners come from? Where are they coming from in the States? Where are they dropping off? All the things that are associated with making smart decisions about your content business. So those are the things that Ethos focuses on in their product. They've got about 120 clients. They've delivered since 2001. They've delivered tracked now over 10 million continuing education credits, and they've got over 600,000 different continuing education and learning activities that are maintained in their base. If you got to pass credits to a third body reporting, they've got that. The ACCME, the Joint Accreditation, PARS, MOC. They manage 50 different credit types, from CMEs, CNEs, CPDs, CPEs, you name it, to support the content. They support all the normal content types, so hybrid, they with Zoom and go to webinar to do that. But it's really the continuing education of medical education that's got to have pre-tests usually, and post-tests and evaluations, and to step you through the different content types. And so they can have SCORM, or you can assemble any asset or PDF or guide or question of the day. They have this concept called a regular scheduled series, which is really a way to give the learning in smaller pieces, either like rounds with doctors or interns, or regular weekly or other interval type content that happens a lot in continuing medical education. Their customers are great name brand customers: the Mayo Clinic, the American College of Surgeons, and so forth. They demonstrate, when you go look at this executive briefing, you'll see they demonstrate a lot of times through the lens of their different customers, so showing the product in action. One of the new things that they're developing right now is a sophisticated recommendation engine, which is based on, normally recommendation engines are based on your job or your role, but this allows you to self-select topics that you're interested in and get fed. And they're tying in basically my habits as a learner, and what I like to consume and how I like to consume it. And then in the future, recommendations on what peers are doing. So that's pretty neat, to real sophisticated engine. As far as peers go, because assessment is so important inside of continuing education, they got a really strong assessment engine to build randomization groups and categories, and to tie that to skills and competencies, and aggregate across assessments, and to see how you're doing against peers, and that peer comparison, confidence ratings, and then both the concept of the Moore's outcomes of continuing education, but also in the concept of in the assessment questions themselves. So they have really world-class assessment capability. And then finally wrapping that all up with some pretty solid reporting and analytics. They're using Google's Looker as the background. They developed 30-plus different dashboards. They got all the continuing education reports you need from both content efficacy and the business of running a content business. Plus, you have the ability to develop more. So all in all, EthosCE is great for the medical industry. It's great if you want to make money by selling content, if you're running a content education business, if you are handcuffed into a traditional employee LMS right now and you're trying to use that to run a continuing medical education business, that's the wrong way to go about it. You need to think about a specialist like Ethos. And so there you have it, EthosCE. Great in medical continuing education and continuing education in general. I invite you to go check them out. Thanks for tuning in to another Hot Take. I hope to see you on the next. I'm John Lay of Talented Learning, and you can find more of our fiercely independent content at talentedlearning.com.